Once a cop, let it knock, yeah. I for one thing we should celebrate redemption instead of condemning it. Welcome to Corey's Corner. Have you heard about Erin Strotman, a woman from Virginia, who was breaking the bones of babies that was in the NICU in Richmond, Virginia? Erin was a nurse working at that hospital. As a matter of fact, take a look at this news report.
As Henrico County detectives continue to comb through video evidence from Henrico Doctors Hospital's NICU, we're learning more about one piece of evidence this criminal complaint filed in Henrico Juvenile and Domestic Relations Court says they have. A video from a baby's room in the NICU dated November 10th of 2024. Now on the video, detectives wrote that NICU nurse Erin Strotman can be seen taking a 5-month-old baby boy's legs and applying pressure to them. From there, she was observed to be placing her weight down on the legs of the baby. She then took both legs and pushed them backwards to where the baby's feet were at his head. The baby looked to be crying and in distress. Detectives say Strotman was then observed moving the baby's right leg, and the leg did not move as freely back and forth as the left leg. The baby was found by the hospital to have a fractured left femur, a fractured right tibia, and multiple rib fractures. Police responded to investigate on November 22nd of last year, 12 days after the video of the alleged abuse was recorded. On January 2nd, police charged Strotman with 2 felonies. Hospital officials say 2 other babies were also found with unexplained fractures in November and December of last year. And that is similar to incidents involving 4 other infants who were being treated at the same NICU in the summer of 2023. The hospital announced it was pausing admissions to the NICU right before Christmas. As CBS 6 previously reported, Strotman was placed on paid administrative leave in 2023 after the hospital conducted an internal investigation into the initial 4 cases. She was not criminally charged back then, and it's unclear when Strotman's suspension ended. Child Protective Services listed the abuser as unknown at that time. Now, this report detailing a 2023 visit by inspectors from the Virginia Department of Health shows the state cited the hospital for failing to promote each patient's rights by not reporting the suspected abuse within 24 hours of having reason to believe that the babies had been abused. When asked about the VDH findings, a spokesperson for HCA sent us a statement that reads in part, "Once we determined that the fractures could have been caused by something other than the development and size of the babies, we reported the fractures to the appropriate authorities, including CPS, and fully assisted in the investigations they launched."
This is heart-wrenching, to say the least. Thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Hackey, who were the first ones to report something that happened with their child. They had twin babies last year, and one of the twins was in the NICU, and they went to see the child one day, and they told them that the child had a fractured leg. And Mr. Hackey was like, "What do you mean my child has a fractured leg?" Because there was tests done on his son before he went into the NICU. Everything was good structurally. There was no problems. Why would they have this fracture? Come to find out, they said that while administering a shot to the child, the leg was fractured. But what they didn't know is that Mr. Mackey's mother-in-law, his wife's mother, was a NICU nurse at another hospital, and she came to their house and demonstrated how to administer a shot to a child in NICU, and she said it was next to impossible for the child to have a fracture. And that's how this investigation started. So local police, they did an investigation about the Mackey's baby and closed the investigation, saying that it was closed because during the administering of a shot, the child received a fracture. But there were other cases. This is despicable. So far, they have 7 cases. There was 4 cases in 2023, 3 cases in 2024. They were just able to identify the nurse after looking at hundreds and hundreds of hours of videotape to see, I guess, times, places of occurrence, or what nurses were in there. And they narrowed it down to this piece of garbage, Erin Strotman. I hope and pray that she gets what she deserves, because those children didn't deserve what they got. Can you imagine that? These young kids, it's very personal for me because my 16-year-old son was a NICU baby. Affectionately call him Little Body because of the fact that he was in NICU and had the tubes going down his throat and mouth and everything. So I know if that was my child and I found out, we want to see justice done. She's facing up to 30 years. One count 10 years, another count 20 years in prison. And she's going to prison with a lot of women that's mothers. And they're going to find out. And just to add a nugget or a caveat to this case, allegedly all the children that she injured were black. And guess what her ethnicity is? White. Now everybody want to beat me up about me saying there's other cases that's black and white. Listen, we only could call a spade a spade. It's never a diamond. This white nurse fractured and tortured these young black children in Richmond, Virginia. And it's going to be a lot of black women in prison with babies. I think she's going to have a very tough time. As a matter of fact, there's going to be correction officers that's women and they have babies. Where's the world coming to? You got this nurse, someone that's sworn to preserve life, save lives, and she's fracturing the bones on these babies that's already fighting for their life. Erin Strotman, I hope you roast to hell. And I just wish that there was a law called an eye for an eye. Whatever you do to a young child or elderly person and they die, you should get the exact same treatment. I'm Corey Pegues. I always keep it right, not real. Peace.